Hi guys, and today I'll be playing Fatal Focus. When you're an artist, you must push yourself to create. You have to contort your body, let your guts burst from your stomach, as you bend backwards for angles for brush strokes. You have to break the glass in your mind to allow the forbidden to possess your hands. You have to break what's already been created to make something even more meaningful. You have to destroy something for your art. You don't know if you your canvas or yourself. I may not be able to be breaking my body today, but I am breaking my routine. I pick up my phone and decide that opening social media is the best way to start my day off. I've been living in this town for a few months at most, trying to get some inspiration. The quiet beauty of a small, historic town nestled in Pennsylvania welcomed me. Its people welcomed me as well, but it was only in the politeness of strangers. Coffee shop encounter never went past pleasantries. In a new town, I was alone. I had joined a few online groups for different hobbies in the area, bird watching, maple syrup cultivation, but I've been most interested in the photography group. Let's see, do they have any events coming up? Gallery events, coffee talks, camera exchanges. None of that was soon. I refreshed the page again. A new post pops up in my feed. It is for a photography walk in the borough. Come walk through historic streets, visiting peak photography opportunities throughout the town. Bring your own camera and water. Starts at 12 p.m. at the coffee shop on Miller Street. Hosted by Adonis more. Interesting name. I tap on the link leading to the hostess website. Fascinating stuff. They seem to do a lot of portrait and fashion photography. It was like looking into the world of a high-end fantasy novel. Even flow of fabrics and hair, decoration with flora and foliage. I pressed on the About tab. Adonis was young, in their mid-20s. Seems like they always lived in the seclusion of the state's forest. It would be nice to know what they look like though. I breathed a sigh of relief. I have been fearing not finding a photographer in a similar age and interest range as me. The photography walk started in 2 hours. It wouldn't be a bad idea to go out, meet some new people, take some photos. I pressed the RSVP button on the event. They asked for my name and email. My name? I'll just do it as Frey. I type out Frey for the name box and my email for the other. The RSVP has been confirmed. I place my phone back on my nightstand and set up to stretch. I have a few hours before the walk. I place a needle on my record player and begin my morning routine. I open one of the windows and allow the crispy musk of the fall to fill my room. There is a chill in the air, but it is one that may be cured by bundles of sweaters. No candle can capture the pure essence of a Pennsylvanian autumn. I eat, get dressed, brush my teeth. I bundle up as necessary. It takes me longer than needed to decide what camera and camera case to bring. I make sure to pack an extra lens. Let's hope I can get some good pictures today. The borough is as beautiful as it has ever been. The local troops have already come through and painted the local business windows with horror movie icons and autumn imagery. Every business has its doors open to allow the smell of fall in. Local flower stores selling their famous chocolate chip cookies once more. Miller Street is beautiful, albeit short. I reach the coffee shop in no time. Maybe I should get a coffee before I go? Sure. Coffee is a song sung by the siren that is in the autumn midday. I step into the coffee shop. Scattered among the seats are various patrons. 4 people sit by the window, knitting a scarf in unison, laughing over cappuccinos. A couple sits near the back door, though they're more interested in their cups than themselves. There are a few sitting alone with their laptops out. I doubt they're getting any work done. The man working the counter has always been kind to me. He's offered directions and given me hints of secret spots around town, whether for food or for photos. It's hospitality I've never been used to. What do I order? Soy, white, chocolate mocha, iced cappuccino, black coffee. Black coffee's nasty, let's just get the first one. My favorite order with an extra shot, no whip. I order a soy, white chocolate mocha. My eyes glance over the food options, pastries, sandwiches, and a bowl of fruit. The food looks rotten. I swear I spot a fly crawling onto a hole in the piece of cantaloupe. Ew. Excuse me? Huh? What's up? There's flies in one of these cups. I'm sorry to point it out. Sorry. It is best not to mention the rot. Barista leans over the counter to grab the plastic bowl and examines it. These are perfectly fine otherwise. Maybe we should close the door? Fine. Are their eyes wrong? Thank you for catching this, though. Don't worry about paying for your drink. This is my fault. But it's not your fault. There's nothing I can do. My order's taken. I'm swept away to stand by the counter near the entrance, waiting for my drink to be made. The breeze outside offers a warm backdrop to the idle chit-chat of other patrons. I do my bit of people watching and only now notice the other person standing waiting for a drink. They're leaned against the wall, fiddling with a lace cuff on their sleeve. It looks like they have a camera bag on their person as well. Should we be going on the photography walk as well? I slowly approach them and give them a wave. Hello! They slowly look up from their hands and scan my entire body. Frey? How did you know my name? Oh, sorry. You have a camera bag with you, so I assumed that you were the single person who signed up for the walk today. I'm Adonis. It's good to meet you. The breath I was holding exhaled, the sweat forming on my brow disappeared. It's nice to meet you. You made me all nervous. Sorry about that. No, it's nothing to apologize for. Adonis is not what I was expecting. Adorning her face is red makeup hidden behind red sunglasses. It is sunny today, but not sunny enough to warrant them. Perhaps they are sensitive to lights? Something about their clothes makes them seem older than they look. I don't think I've ever seen you before. Are you new to town? Yeah, I moved here a few months ago. It's very beautiful and cozy here. Isn't it? I'll add a slightly bitter hazelnut macchiato with cream for Adonis. Thank you. Adonis grabs their drink and immediately brings it to their lips. You're not even giving it a second to cool? I killed the heat sensors on my taste buds years ago. I couldn't help but laugh. How often do you go on these walks? Do you usually only get one person? I try to host them monthly. I usually get a few to attend. A lot of older folk, kind-hearted people. They take some of the prettiest pictures I've ever seen. I'm wondering if I scheduled this walk over a mahjong tournament, since you're the only one who has shown up. Which is perfect. I can show you my new neighbors some type of my favorite spots. Do you want to go down to the river pretty often? By the park? There's some very pretty sights to be had there. There's a waterfall that's hidden in the trees. It's gorgeous. I have a sour white chocolate mocha for Frey. That's me, thank you. I grab my cup of coffee off the counter and double check the name written on the cup. I can't read the handwriting. Do you want to finish outside? The air is crisp. I nod and went outside with Adonis. We sit in silence for a few minutes, finishing up our drinks, checking our phones and our equipment. Adonis finishes their drink first, pouring out the little liquid left before recycling. I follow suit shortly. So, Frey, have you ever been on a photography walk before? Have I been on a photography walk before? I would say no. Photography walk is basically a walking tour. The only difference is the camera in your hand is more than just your phone. You share ideas and compositions. The tour walks around and finds sweet spots for photos. At the end, you check out everyone's pictures and see how different the photographers manage to capture the same place. Sometimes I like to throw a theme in. What's the theme? How does life cycle sound? Very broad but also very specific. It's good enough for me. Excellent. If you have any questions, concerns, or anything else, just let me know. Donna starts walking down the street, taking their camera out of their bag as they do. I follow along. Our first stop is a small garden across from a Quaker cemetery, enclosed in a fading white fence. Adonis let me take pictures first. I pulled out my Canon and tried to zoom in close to some limp leaves delicately falling off the flower stem. I know the couple that lives there. Older folks, very sweet. The husband runs a hardware store in town. Sometimes you see a cute cat running through, but it doesn't seem like she's out today. I zoomed in on the closest bunch of flowers. Really? A cat? Yes. I don't know what kind she is, but she's white with one blue eye and one brown eye. I think her name is Lavinia. I just call her Jiggles, though because she has a cute bell on her collar that signals her arrival strides before she crosses your path. That sounds really cute. I hope you see her today. Perhaps. With the flash off, I snapped a few more images. The couple's been keeping up this garden for a few years. It was overgrown long before. There's a rumor that while they were starting to clear the weeds out, they found a body buried underneath the soil. What? Really? Really? Did they ever find out whose body it was? No. There's quite a rumor that what they found was a skeleton that was mixed with deer antlers and bear bones. I turn back to Adonis, who has her camera pointed towards me. They click a photo. Do you think there's anything to it? The bones? Are they asking if I believe the skeleton wasn't tampered with? It could have been real. I believe in things I do not know. Maybe there are actual deer men who walk around men. Adonis laughs. I agree with your first statement, but I don't think I believe in the second. How would a man with antlers wear a hat, huh? Would they have to cut holes in the fabric? Would it not be uncomfortable with the natural curves of the antlers making it difficult to put on and take off? I feel it will be an inconvenience is all. You know those adjustable straps on baseball caps? They could just use those. Perhaps. It sure would make it difficult to walk through doors. And going through them sideways would probably feel awful. I just know it. Adonis lowers their camera and places it back in their bag. We should continue. You now know this garden exists. Adonis continues walking and I follow along. We pass another cemetery with a decaying metal fence. Walking along the perimeter is a black dog with its nose buried in fallen leaves. Oh hi! I lean down and snap a few pictures of the dog, who doesn't seem to flinch at my camera shutter. Oh hello there. Adonis crouches and reaches out to the animal, but they do not pet it. What are you doing out here? It's light outside. The hand runs over the pavement before it descends into the dirt. Skimming among fresh dirt and soil are worms, which follow the creases in Adonis' hand. They hold their palm facing the sky and bring it towards the dog. Now, there's no one who will be stealing from the graves at this time of the day. Do you just want a snack? The dog, with his eyes clouded over like a watered-down milk, looks at Adonis as if he was thinking of a rebuttal. Instead, it closes its eyes and begins to lick up the feast of vermin. I cannot help but observe. I feel the slime at the tip of my tongue, slowly finding its way down my throat. I like the taste from my own mouth. Did you just appear just for a treat? The dog only makes chewing noises, slurping noises. Do dogs eat worms? Well, you're allowed for revealing yourself to our new neighbor. The dog finishes its meal. Adonis allows himself a few scratches behind its ear. Before I can say anything else, it runs off and disappears behind the tombstones. I look in disbelief. Quickly, I go to check the photos I'd just taken. Each one only showed a metal fence and the dead leaves scattered across the grass. There was no dog. Dang, it's getting more ominous. As we go along, Adonis isn't who we think they are, or they seem to be. Everything alright, Frey? It's not here. You expect to capture footage of the black guards of the graveyards? They seem serious. I suppose not. I feel as if I'm being pulled along the street as Adonis wipes their hand of dirt and continues walking. I follow along. Adonis takes me to an abandoned white building near the forest. Vines and leaves crawl up the walls, framing haphazardly painted graffiti and late-stage decay. What was this building meant for? It used to be a beer store. The building has been abandoned for a few years. Now you're going to tell me that it closed down because someone died in there, or that there's some type of spectral figure roaming the building? He keeps barking at passerbyers that it craves some beer that no longer exists. Adonis laughs. Nothing like that. They ended up moving locations to a smaller store in a nearby strip mall. There aren't a lot of beer drinkers in the area who enjoy to drink past a bottle or two for sport events. They got overtaken by a general wine and spirit store instead. I may love ghosts and local legends, but this is not one of those tours. Does an organization give ghost tours in town? The Cultural Society hosts a few during Halloween. Some of the homes do historic house tours around Christmas time. It's quite nice. You should come to see one soon. My home is usually on display then. It was built in the early 19th century by a carriage maker. How strange. Why bring me here? Because the life cycle of things applies to not just living things. Thoughts die, businesses die, structures die, hopes die. But those ashes bring new life, and the cycle continues. I snap a few photographs of different angles, some showing the sky and the buildings, some focusing on the foliage. Adonis has their camera out, but their lens falls onto me. I assume the pictures are taken out for the promotional material, Future walks and think nothing of it. We finish our photography in silence, and Adonis takes off. I look back at the abandoned building and I swear I see a figure standing in a broken window, unmoving. I follow along. Okay, it's getting more. Adonis and I arrive at the forest-turned park at the edge of town. The autumn air tastes better than in the borough. I stick my tongue out to get a better scope of its taste. Autumn tastes like spiced whiskey and cinnamon, like ginger and bread and vanilla essential oil. Under my tongue is the remnants of the nutmeg. You don't get this anywhere else. Appalachia is a stone's throw from here. We have our own old magic. We walk along the river for a few minutes, stopping every so often to take pictures. So, Adonis. Yes, Ray? I want to know more about them. How long have you been a photographer? I've been a professional photographer for about 7 years. When I was younger, my grandfather showed me some of his, daguerreotypes? Photographs printed on metal plates. Never heard of that. I realized in my older years that the reason he was likely the crazy old man, he was due to the mercury vapor in the process. He told me a story of how, when he was his younger years, he had a friend who enjoyed the hobby as well. This friend lost his sister to illness when he was in his 20s. He vowed to try to preserve as much as he could with his limited time on this earth. My grandfather says he took it too far, and one day they found a man in his house where the wood was decaying and the window sills were catching flies, taking photographs of his dead parents at the dinner table. But ever since I heard that, I've been fascinated with photography. Really? That would have scared me as a child. I believe it was meant to scare most children, but I was not like most children. We continue our walk along the riverside. Before long, Adonis stops. They put a finger to their lips and point towards the grass. Through the blades, I spy a dark lump. It matches the soft sound of buzzing of flies and the squirming of worms. In the grass, I spot a deer lying on its side, its eyes shallow and black, its antlers up to the sky, its mouth agape. The carcass has been home to maggots squirming in its insides, releasing its intestines, gnawing off legs no longer found in physical form. All that is left are strings of meat, white, juicy, pulsing. My eyes widen, my mouth waters. I raise my camera up, lens towards the corpse, and take pictures. The vermin writhe under sinews and eat the tendons. They make new holes for a temporary home. These animals must constantly move. They must constantly slither. They eat their homes until all that is left is bone and blood, and they must move on. The maggots and worms are the nomads of the animal kingdom. They will exhaust their resources and force themselves to flee. And by God, it is spectacular. Once I have finished taking my foot pictures, Adonis continues walking. I follow along. We're going deeper. We stop a few more times. We must have, at least. The sun is beginning to set. And yet it feels like we've only been out for a few hours at most. Adonis laughs with the prettiest voice in the world. We scroll through our photographs and speak of the lighting, the composition, the colors. I do not remember a word. What is most fascinating is that for most of it we are alone. Nothing living interrupts us. We find dead birds and left dead trees, rocks and rivers and paved trails and left behind trash. So when we were suddenly within sight of a girl, maybe in her 20s, sitting along the water with a book in one hand, I'm taken aback. When we approach, she does not look back at us to see the source of the incoming noise. Hello? She doesn't respond. She continues to look out to the setting sun across the rippling water, tugging at the ruin of her slipped dress and the smooth surface of her skin. I said I wanted to be alone out here. Did you not listen? The girl makes a movement now. Her knuckles turn white from gripping fabric. You know what this means, don't you? She seems to nod. Adonis turns to me. They pull their camera out from their bag. Frey, put your camera away. I do as I'm told. And take this. They rummage through one of their pockets and hand me a knife. It feels old, judging by the scratches on the blade and a string wrapped around the metal hilt. Stand. The woman stands up and faces us. Her visage is plastic, eyes milky, swirling, empty. Adonis quickly stabs the woman in the neck. Okay. A screech from her throat is cut short by her coughing. He throws up blood like a dog who has thrown up a bad tree. He pushes the knife deeper in, twisted so the flesh twists around as well. I find myself unable to look away, like my eyes will be torn from my sockets if I even think of shining my eyes from the metal. But I'm able to breathe again when Adonis pulls it out of her neck and licks the blood off the blade. She groans for a second, but her voice is quickly muffled. Pain has stolen her voice box. They hand it to me. I take it as they step towards the trail. Frey. Adonis readies their camera, bringing it to cover most of her face. In her death, her body is still fresh. I want you to cut her. Where? Oh. My words move faster than my thoughts, but once they catch up, they are the same. My mouth becomes wet. My eyes feel warm and ignited. Start with her cheek. I raise the knife to be inches away from the woman's skin. Her breathing is hot and heavy next to me. It is welcoming in this autumn chill. For a few moments I hesitate. I look over to the camera once more. Adonis says nothing, their finger hovering over the shutter release. I got her cheek. Adonis snaps a photo. The viscosity is thick. Blood has always been thick, but this was thick like maple syrup, like oil. I reach my hand out to touch it. My fingers swirl around in the wound before I find them in my mouth. It tastes like expensive raspberry sauce found in the side of a dessert. Adonis takes another picture as I ready the knife again. I find a good, soft, thin piece of skin in her neck and stab the knife into there. Blood squirts. The woman her body flinches. As her organs in their cease function gag on her own fluids, it drips onto her dress. I drag the knife down. Her skin, her bones, her organs. They are all tough, beautifully carved and constructed by nature herself to block my knife from cutting a straight line. It takes effort. Sweat drips from my knuckles and collects in the grass. I pry the woman open with my fingers like her body is a door. Her innards spill from her stomach and a desire to squirm like worms scavenging the deer farther down the path. I grab at the gore inside her mouth and pull out some before I shovel it into my mouth. It tastes sweet, like strawberry cake drizzled in vanilla ice cream. I close my eyes and savor, allowing syrup-like blood to drip down my lips. Quickly she falls into the grass and I join her. I become a vulture among the sounds of spit and the camera's shudder. I ravage her, my teeth gnaw at her jugular, turning stringy with each bite I take. My tongue licks at the ribs in her torso. I don't know how long or how much I take of her for some punishment I am unaware of. But by the time I am done, I do not recognize her. I do not feel sick. I do not feel pain. I do not feel remorse. I look back at Adonis as I lick the blood from my fingers. They capture another photograph of me. They lower their camera and smile. That was beautiful. I don't have anything to say. I move my lips to say something, but any thought is lost in the saliva. You should clean yourself up. I'll deal with this. Adonis looks down at the woman and pushes up their glasses. With a swift motion, they kick her once, allowing her body to fall into the river. I watch her as the water washes away the bile and blood covering her body. She floats down the river, nameless, before being taken by a fast surge of white rapids. I watch my face and my arms in the water, take off what has been ruined by my clothes, and throw together what I can to look presentable. I can walk you home. No one will say a word, all right? You'll be fine. I nod and begin taking the path back into town. The evening breeze sends a chill down my spine. I wrap my arms together to generate what warmth I can get together. Adonis says nothing as we walk home. I don't need them to. Town is quiet. Everything shuts its doors around 7 o'clock. There is not a soul on the sidewalks nor in a vehicle on the roads. I feel satisfied with today's walk, and something in me wants to do it again. Oh. Okay, that was kind of eerie. Because it's like it slowly became corrupted by, I don't know, Adonis or like the surrounding nature itself. Because Adonis is clearly obsessed with like death and the state of death and like the process to the state of death. Anyway, it just feels like a slow corruption of ourselves throughout along that walk. We're being slowly corrupted and consumed by death. I don't know. That's what I think of the game, in my own words. Well, yeah, that is the end of Fatal Focus. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye.